One sheepdog in every family. One nation. No wolf can break.
Hello, all. I am CR, and welcome to the journey down the rabbit hole. Now, most of us have seen The Matrix, and we are familiar with its characters. But here, on this journey that we are about to start, this journey is going to be about just two of them, two of the characters out of Matrix. No more distractions. The first one is Morpheus. Okay, the bald guy. Yeah, resembles me. The one who understood the Matrix and the one who believed in the prophecy of the oracle. Now here I'll be playing that role, and I offer you who are who I consider the Neo. Now, you could be man, women, um senior citizen, whoever you are the Neo, the chosen one as per the prophecy. Now, the one who has to make a conscious decision to either enter the rabbit hole of personal and public security to understand these concepts, or to stay ignorant for the rest of your life and be a probable victim of situations and malicious intent. Now I personally I believe in this prophecy that Neo, who is a common man today for me, you know, has the power within their reach to do what they can or they must to make sure that there is public safety and security and also personal security and safety. Okay, so I know for a fact that the day you, Neo, take that red pill that I'm offering you and you walk with me and cross that line with me and get into the matrix to understand it, you will enter the world of security consciousness. You will enter the world of security culture. And from then onwards, it will be almost impossible for you to become a victim of anything, of malicious intent and action. Okay? But the choice to have that red pill, what I'm here to offer you, is yours. Okay? So if you are choosing to take the red pill and move forward, let's get ahead. Now, before we get started to the main chapter, there are two questions that we need to answer, and these are very very important questions. The first one: protection against what? So, what does a common man like you and me? What are we protecting ourselves against? Okay. Now, while most of us know the answer, which is malicious intent and malicious action. Now how do you recognize malicious intent? Now, while it starts as a thought, malicious intent is a thought, but these thoughts they have physical and auditory markers, okay, that reveal their intent. Now, when these markers are ignored by people like you and me, these thoughts, these malicious intent become action. Okay, so that is the first question we need to answer: malicious intent and malicious action. The second question we need to answer is, who are these people? Who are we protecting ourselves against? Okay, and the answer is again very simple, something that you and I already know: bad guys and girls. Okay, known and unknown, petty thieves to terrorists. Okay, but there is one category here that I would like to share a few examples of, which is the known category. Okay, these are the very dangerous kind. Now, who are these known? What are the categories of these known people who are malicious, who have malicious intent, and who could, convert that intent into action against you and me? We have relatives, we have neighbors, we have colleagues, we have friends, we have best friends, and we have the immediate family. Now, if you are feeling uncomfortable listening to these categories, I suggest you go to Google and search for the kind of modus operandis that are going on, against common citizens like you and me. It is these people who are committing the crime. Okay, so I haven't thought of these from thin air. It's factual, and it's there is evidence to back this up. So, anyways, now before we get to the chapter, there's one more important thing, which is your protection philosophy. Okay, now if you've read my book, then you already have a stronger philosophy. But if you haven't read my book, here is something that is easy for you to pick up and run with. Okay, now this is not my philosophy. Armed forces and protection units from across the world use this as a baseline philosophy to maintain their protection and security mechanisms. Okay, now your security and safety is directly proportional to the seriousness you put into applying this philosophy in your daily life. Respect all, suspect all. Okay, do not give your trust unless it is earned through action and evidence. Now let me share an example here. This is very important, guys. Okay, now some places have on earth, there's some places which have very, very, very tight security. Okay, and for you to get past the gate, the entry gate, you have to share a password which is given to you. Okay, now, no matter who you are, you could be the head of security of that facility, or you could be the prime minister of that, country, or whoever you are. If you give the wrong password at that gate 3 consecutive times, the guard at the gate will shoot you. Yes, they will shoot you. 3 wrong passwords, 3 attempts, wrong password, you are shot at, irrespective of who you are. Now, that is the seriousness they apply to their philosophy of security and safety. Okay, and that is the reason these spaces are very, very difficult to breach. So please put seriousness into this philosophy that we are going to carry forward from this chapter onwards. Okay, which is respect all, suspect all. Okay, so let's get started. Now, your security and safety is only as strong as your understanding of its concepts. Weak understanding of these concepts, security concepts, your security is weak. Now, in any attack, hard or soft, the victims are mostly civilians. Okay, whether we're talking about, and this is every time, whether we're talking about 2611, Pahalgam, Red Fort, rape, molestation, sexual abuse, your TCS case, or whatever, all of these, the victim is always a civilian. Please understand that most of the times. And this is the main reason why it is critical for people like you and me, responsible civilians, to understand these concepts, what I'm about to share with you all. And because this is a public platform, I will not be digging too deep, into them, but I will share enough for you to get started immediately. Okay, so today we are talking about chapter 1, which is layers of protection. Now there are 5 layers of protection. Okay, which is physical, mental, emotional, financial, and spiritual. In this particular chapter, in this particular episode, we are going to be talking only about the first one, which is your physical security or physical protection layer. Okay, now I'm also doing that. I'm dedicating a chapter to the physical security because the way, the crime is happening around us, physical security of men, women, children, senior citizens is of prime importance. So it's very important we understand this very, very clearly. Okay. Now consider you are where you are as the epicenter. Okay. Now you draw an imaginary line around you, a circle around you with you as center. And this circle is 30 feet away from you. Okay. This is your third circle of protection. Okay. 30 feet. Now you draw another circle which is 15 feet from you. This is your second circle of protection, which is at 15 feet. And then you draw another circle around you, which is your inner circle, which is at 6 feet from you. Now, with each circle, your security changes. Let's see how. When you ask intelligent questions, you get intelligent answers. So here's a list of questions you should be asking to yourself, or you should be thinking about. Okay. This is your third layer of protection. For a threat to reach you from this distance, it will take approximately 45 seconds. Okay, now this also, the time also depends on, crowd density around you, and where you are. You're on third floor, they're on first floor, or whatever stuff, correct? It depends on a lot of dynamics. But let's say you're on the same floor, same level, and they are just 30 feet away from you. So it'll take them around 45 seconds. Okay. If you are able to identify your threat, the moment they breach this 30 feet circle, Neo, you have a decent chance of survival. So when I say 45 seconds to assault, it means that you have 45 seconds to save yourself from becoming a victim. 45 seconds to do whatever you can or whatever you have to stop becoming a victim. It is 45 seconds, not 45 minutes. Okay. So what are your options? Option number one, you can call 112. Now, what is 112? It's an emergency helpline for police and other emergency services. Okay. Now, you got 45 seconds. In 45 seconds, you need to pull out your phone from wherever it is. You have to unlock it. You have to dial 112 and you have to give your vitals across. Now, what are vitals? Vitals are not the medical vitals here. Okay, not your BP and your pulse and all that. Your vitals here in security situations is your name. What are you wearing? Okay, the color of your dress, so that it's easy for people to identify you, the ones who come to help you. Okay, what is your location? And you need to describe your danger situation. All this in under 45 seconds. Now, you don't really have 45 seconds to do that because there are other things that you need to do. Okay. Now, the threat is not going to disappear just because you have called 112. The help from the other side will take at least or up to 15 minutes to reach you. Okay. Police are not God. They are not omnipresent. Okay. And another point you need to understand, Neo, is that the bad guys don't attack you where the cops are there. Okay. They will always attack you in a place where there is no police protection. Okay. Second option, if you cannot call 112, or let's say you have called 112 and you have conveyed your emergency and they said that they're sending the help across, but you can't stand there. You have to do something. Okay. So then what you do, you increase the distance between you and the threat. You start running in the opposite direction. Okay. So what this does, this buys you more time. More space means more time. Okay. Next option, safe haven. Now, what is a safe haven? Now, safe haven is a place where the threat might not risk entering and assaulting you. Might not. Okay. Now, examples of safe haven are probably a hospital, could be a restaurant, could be a hotel with security guards. Fire station is a brilliant safe haven, okay, because it's government, and they are as good as cops, so they can protect you from an imminent threat. Police station, of course, is a safe haven. Even a supermart can be a great place if you know what you're looking for. If you've read the disclaimer on slide 2, this is a hint for you. Take it or leave it. Third option, a washroom. Okay, a washroom is a brilliant place for you to go and lock yourself up. Okay, but provided you know where other things are in a washroom that can help you. Okay, to keep the guy to keep bad or malicious intent out. Okay, another place where you can lock yourself up is probably a room, a classroom. Okay, but most important point here is you have to lock yourself up in a room that has only one entry or exit. Okay, because you cannot get distracted trying to cover too many entries. The room you lock yourself up, one entry, one exit. Put all your eggs in one basket and watch that basket like a hawk. Okay, that is what you do. Next option, can you make noise and draw attention of bystanders or police patrol nearby? Now, police patrol nearby is a very remote possibility, but bystanders, yes. My suggestion, do not shout help. Usually what happens when you shout help, people get scared and they run away. Okay, so don't shout help. You can shout fire maybe. Okay, or another tactic that you can use is you can act as if you're getting a heart attack or something. Okay, then people rush to you and they help you, they make you sit, give you water and all that. I know it's playing around with public sentiment, but you are securing yourself. Okay, and I think it is okay to do that. Okay, so this is as far as your third protective circle is concerned. Now let's go to the second circle. This is your second protective circle. Now what are your options here? Now if you look at the list, the items are the same, but what has changed is the priority. Okay, 112 has gone to the last. Why? Because in 15 seconds to impact, you are not going to take out your phone and unlock and call 112 and give all your details by the time the guy or the bad guy or the threat is right on you. Correct. So one dialing 112 is your last option, but then the other options remain. So at 15 seconds to impact, your best possible option is increase your distance, run in the opposite direction. Okay, find a safe haven, lock yourself up in a secured space. Okay, make noise. These are the best options that you have. Okay, now this is 15 seconds only, 15 seconds to impact. And then we come to the most dangerously interesting space. You have 3 seconds to impact. Your threat is 6 feet from you. Okay, but there's another difference here. If you've seen, the 30 feet was a protective circle, the 15 feet was also a protective circle, but 6 feet is your inner defensive circle. Now that defensive word is very, very loud and clear. Now you are in a space where you cannot run, you cannot hide, you cannot lock yourself in a space, you can't find a safe haven. You are now in a space where you have to defend yourself and your space. That 6 feet is probably your battlefield that you have to defend. Okay, and the only thing that can save you at this point is an extremely well trained mind, body, and spirit. If these three things are trained, you have well trained them, you will survive, this 3 seconds or even your exposure to crime, whatever that is. You will survive here. You will come out as a survivor and your threat will become the victim. Okay, but training your mind, body, spirit is the most important thing, and this is why I keep telling people in my trainings, run a mile every single day. At least have that basic fitness where you can run, or at least do some push-ups, body training, body weight training. Okay, so what are your options here? Let's look at your options. Do you know de-escalation tactics? Now, what are de-escalation tactics? Now, these are tactics that diffuse the tension between you and your threat. Okay, these are the tactics that tell your threat or convey the message to your threat that you are not a weak victim, that you are going to resist. You are not an easy victim. You are not, what do you say, easy target. Okay, you're a tough target. One. Secondly, deploying these de-escalation tactics in 3 second scenarios. It takes one hell of a training, okay, which most civilians don't have. And the biggest reason why most civilians don't have this training is because we have outsourced our security to somebody else, because someone else is going to protect us. Now, if you have understood the 30, the 15, and the 6 circle, 45 seconds is what max that you can get. And who is coming to save you in this 45 seconds, guys? Neo. Who's coming to save you in 45 seconds? You are your best first responder. Unfortunately, you are your best untrained first responder as of now. And that's the reason why, I'm sharing this content with you, so that you understand, you awaken, you wake up, and you start training yourself. Okay? Next, what's your next option? Can you be as professional and brutal at violence as your attackers? Now, this is a very, very critical question that I keep answering every time I meet people who are into martial arts and all that kind of stuff. Now, if you are learning martial arts on padded floors, punching bags, and all that, you have no freaking idea how violence looks and feels like in real life. Okay, if you cannot do a minimum of 50 to maybe even 80, minimum at least 50 to 80 knuckle push-ups on the hard ground, not grass, not padded floors, on hard ground, on mud, on tar road, if you can't do 50 to 80 knuckle push-ups, your wrist, my friend, is not ready to punch anybody and survive the impact. This is reality. So if you're thinking by watching some martial art videos, by looking at somebody showing you how to disarm a gun, disarm a knife, how to get out of a choke, you're going to be able to do that in real life, you're mistaken. Okay, maybe someday you should meet me, and I will do the, I will be the bad guy. I will hold the gun to you and I will choke you and show you how it is in real life when you get choked. Okay, so you need to get out of that dreamland, or that hallucination of martial arts are going to save you in real life, unless you are spending at least 2 hours of training every single day for a minimum of 5 years. Then maybe yes, you can defeat a bad guy and be as professional at violence as that guy is. Option number 3. Does law, BNS is Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, support your violence as a response. Law, well, my question here is to all the lawyers. I will deflect this question to the lawyers for now. I can answer this, but I want you to talk to a lawyer friend about this, option. Pick the brains of your lawyer friend, ask them, where is law empowering me to use force against force when it is used on me? Okay, that is a question for your lawyer friend. So these are the three options that you have when we are talking about the 15, sorry, when you're talking about the 6 feet radius, when your threat is on your face. Okay, so today we discussed physical security. Now, in the next video, we'll talk about mental, emotional, financial, and spiritual protection circles. Okay, so that's for now. Hope you got something to munch on until we meet again. And congratulations for taking the red pill and getting into the rabbit hole. Now, it's going to be an exciting journey, I promise. And I hope you stick along the journey. Okay, stay icy in code yellow. Jai Hind.